What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Polytoxic Podcast. I'm your host, Little Miss BRB,
And I'm Sari Beth Rosenberg.
and we're here to bring you the most toxic topics in the news cycle this week.
It's been a week, hasn't it?
It has, and it's been quite a while since we've been with you guys. We took a little bit of a hiatus, and now that the election is over, we think our work is needed more than ever. So we are back.
We're back, baby. We're so back.
We are so back.
We're so back. I mean, listen, it's been a year, it's been a couple months, and it's been a week. Does my mic look funny here? I kind of like it here. It's
I
good.
kind of like it.
It's good. All
Matchy
right.
matchy.
Matchy matchy. All right. So, Vanessa, my city has been in the news.
New York has been hot the last week.
And fun fact, well, I don't want to dox myself too much, but like I'm around that neighborhood a lot, just like walking around. It's the middle of Manhattan. Everyone's walking around there all the time. And well, the CEO of United Healthcare was gunned down. I think it was Tuesday morning. It was earlier in the week, 7:30 a.m. He was going into a meeting, like a yearly conference for health insurance CEOs, I believe. And well, that guy's still on the run. We don't know who he is.
And the internet is thirsting after this assassin.
Yeah, pretty pretty much. I mean, listen, murder's bad. And we're not going to get into that. I think we all agree watching this, us too as well, that we do not condone violence and murder of any kind. But I am fascinated by the immediate reaction. And, I don't think much can bring people together these days. In fact, if you would have asked me the day before that shooting, if we could bring left and right together, I'd say, hell no, look at what just happened in this election. But that seemed to have brought everyone together. He's been called too many times in the comments, both on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Cutie patootie. I've seen so many people dub him cutie patootie. According to, okay, so basically, here's some stats, right? United Health Group's Facebook post announcing Thompson's death received over 46,000 reactions, with approximately 41,000 users selecting the haha laughing emoji. On Reddit, a nursing community thread featured dark humor with one user commenting, I would offer thoughts and prayers, but I'm going to need a prior authorization first. And then someone on X stated, Today we mourn the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Wait, I'm sorry. Today we mourn the deaths of 68,000 Americans who needlessly die each year so that insurance company execs like Brian Thompson can become multimillionaires. In fact, last year he made, well, I think I saw $10 million in a year.
I
And
think
that's on
it's
the lower end. It's on the lower end.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note here that the meeting that he was going into was he was going to announce the record-breaking profits that the company received that year. Now, just like you said, I am not condoning political violence to any degree. However, I do understand the public's response. What I also think is interesting is watching how mainstream media is covering this, right? Um, because they're almost shaming us for being
Mhm.
desensitized to the environment that they've created for us, right? Especially on the right wing side. We see them on their political platforms like TPUSA
Mhm.
daily speaking and fantasizing out loud about going into illegal immigrants' homes, ripping them out of their homes, throwing them in cages. We've seen a serious uptick in threats against women who create content and seeing the comment, Your body, my choice, which is a grape threat over and over and over again. And now that all of us are kind of laughing and thirsting after this what people are comparing to a modern day Robin Hood situation is they seem so appalled by it. And I put this, I don't even know if we call them tweets or what they are on Blue
Yeah,
Sky.
I don't
But
know.
I skidded or whatever we call them there this
Yeah.
morning. I wish they held the same energy for school shootings
Yeah.
as they did for CEOs getting murked in the middle of the street. But what we're looking at, though, I think socially, what you were saying is both the right and the left are agreeing that the capitalists who are making all of the money and letting all of us die in healthcare are the bad guys. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess there is a silver lining in all of this because it's making us agree on something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like making us agree on something, and I'm hoping it's a harbinger for things to come. I'm not going to hold my breath because Trump, I hate even I wanted to not say his name all day on this podcast, but Trump has this stranglehold on these people, and he
Yeah.
can do no harm. But I mean, what are they going to do when prices go up, which he said they will, when he has his tariffs? What are they going to do when I think 9 states people are going to lose their health care if he puts into his does his like Project 2025 um whatever the plans are there, people are going to potentially lose Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. Are they still going to be cheering for their man, or are they going to finally realize what we've been saying all along, that this party, this MAGA party, um, got their support by appealing to their deepest, darkest, hateful grievances. And in the end, they're going to get played. They're going to lose everything they have, which is not much right now, as it is.
Yeah. I think we are already seeing people coming into awareness about tariffs and what that's going to look like for everybody. You see the unions that are now upset that strongly backed him and supported him. And I don't know when this interview came out. It was on MSNBC possibly yesterday, but Trump did the interview and she straight up asked him if he was going to guarantee that he could keep prices down for Americans. And he literally said, I can't guarantee anything.
Yeah, that was with Kristen Welker this morning on Meet the Press. I'm trying
Exactly.
not to watch him, but like it is also, it's like that balance of like paying
Yeah.
attention so we can report on it for our followers and just be
Right.
informed, but also not just be in hysterics all the time and freaking out. But that interview, I think, is worth watching, or at least watching clips about it or listening to people talk about it, because he pretty much said that he's looking to get rid of birthright citizenship. He said that he still doesn't have he wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, but still just has a concept of a plan. And, you know, she asked him, oh, there's like these states all voted for you and they have a really low minimum wage. Would you consider raising? And he said, I'll think about it. I mean, this man is not serious about helping his supporters. He's serious about helping men like Brian Thompson. Is that his name? Brian Thompson. And these other wealthy people who are going to inhabit his cabinet and other positions in the White House.
The cabinet picks are a perfect example. And I would recommend everybody go out and count how many billionaires are in there. And so I think it's really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how those average working Americans that ran to vote for him and support him are going to feel about everything that's coming in the future with
For
that.
sure, for sure.
Right.
And then speaking of his cabinet picks, I couldn't help but to think about Tulsi Gabbard this morning, as we heard, or last night, as we heard the news about Syria, because we all know that she cozied up to Assad, the now former leader of Syria, as well as Putin. But before we get into that, like what happened last week in South, like what's going on in the world, Vanessa? I mean, we're not like geopolitical experts, but
No,
just the general broad strokes for people listening, what the hell is going on in the world?
this week we are seeing governments topple. We are seeing CEOs marked. I think Elon Musk and a lot of those people predicted things to go a certain way, but they actually might have just activated a severe revolution. And I'm not condoning violence. I'm not putting things out there, but when there is such a large difference in class and what's going on, eventually the people are going to get sick of it. But what's interesting is we're seeing this all across the world.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not the only ones who are feeling this, and if you look at the big dangerous guys, they're all running to each other's defenses. So I think we're getting into something interesting here because Syria's, I don't know if you call it prime minister, the leader, the
Yeah.
dictator, he
Yeah.
fled straight to Russia. He
Right.
fled to Russia,
Right.
right? So I think I think we're looking at what's happening globally is the people are sick of the big guys
The
bringing
oligarchs. The
yeah
oligarchs.
yeah
I posted a meme. I still don't know the origin of it. And then I was so proud of the sound. And like here behind the scenes, I literally I went on TikTok and recorded that meme. And then I was like, my face in the meme because I was feeling lazy. And then I was like, 17, I literally Googled sound 1780s France, and that Gossip Girl sound came up. So I don't have some encyclopedic knowledge of Gossip Girl, but that came up and it was so perfect. So anyone, I'm not trying to plug my TikToks, but like check that out. It's so basically it was like, Elon Musk. It's a picture of Elon Musk looking, like Elon Musk,
stressed.
stressed as he should be, pressed as the kids say or used to say. And it says, when you buy an election and ruin your brand, hoping to remake or like reenact
Yes.
1930s fascist Germany, but instead you get 1780s France. And we all know what happened in France in the 1780s revolution, baby. And so I mean, listen, the way that the trend I'm seeing this week, and you are too, is everyone responded to that CEO getting killed like murder's bad, but let's talk. Is now a good time to talk about the healthcare problem in America and just the inequities, and then what's going on with these, toppling of Assad and people cheering for that? Maybe we're
I
just getting started. Maybe we're just getting
it's
started. I hope. I mean, I hope not that I want murder and violence, but I'm hoping that they continue to see that Trump is not for them, that Linda McMahon's not for them, that like name all those I just naming cabinet people, but like they're not for them. Elon Musk is not for you. He's not looking out for you.
No, the purchase of Twitter was to help destroy democracy, and
Yeah.
as of today, it's seemingly worked. But it's not just Elon Musk that is responsible for this because, as both of us know, Meta definitely helped Trump
Yeah.
win the election as well. One
Yep.
by silencing leftist accounts, but now that the election's over, both of us are off shadow bans and we are
Yeah.
being bombarded by trolls. So
Yep.
it's seeming that they are pushing our content now to people that disagree with us.
And
So
yeah, that's what they do.
so we're looking at these billionaire tech guys who are buying up the social platforms and how we communicate with each other. They're limiting what we can see. Their AI is deciding what is misinformation, who
Yep.
can see what. And this is going to bring us directly into, we found out this week that TikTok is about to be banned from the App Store on January 20th. Now,
Yeah.
I find this interesting timing because but not the election, excuse
Yeah.
me. He takes office on the
January
20th.
20th. I wonder why it's happening then. I mean, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's strange timing. I thought I saw January 19th, but like, yeah, one of
Yes.
those days,
It's
like
the
right
day
then.
before, just the
Yeah.
day before he takes office. It's it's I'm sick and tired of being called a fearmonger because we've
Yeah.
been called fearmongers for the last 4 years of supporting Democrats and trying to fight the right-wing disinformation. And essentially all of the things that we were saying were going to happen are already starting to happen, and he hasn't taken
Mhm.
office. So I don't think it's bad to start talking about the fears and about things that actually could happen because unlike mainstream media, I will never silence my thoughts
No,
on this. And we're headed towards danger. And
we
I
are.
think more people should be saying it.
Yeah, I get that it's a heavy topic and it's the holiday season and we don't want to be thinking about this, but right after the holiday season, we go right into January 2025 and they're going to Project 2025 the F out of us. I hereby turn it into a verb. They are going to Project 2025 so many parts of our lives. And again, we sound like fear mongers, but we're just speaking the truth. And listen, I think it's important that people mentally prepare for what
Yes.
to expect. Now, yes, TikTok suppressed me too. TikTok was making it really difficult for anyone to see our informational videos about where to vote, how to make sure you're registered. Those were getting like 300 views. But when I would post something that would make MAGAs angry, it would get tens of thousands of views. I mean, not as many as I used to get. And again, I'm not doing this. I don't care about numbers. I cared about numbers during the election because I wanted the right people to see my content because I wanted to defend democracy. And both TikTok and Meta did not allow that to happen. In fact, and again, I'm not talking about this because I care about my numbers and followers because I don't make money off of them. But I will say that the day after the election, it was like a floodgate opened up, and I can even show you the graph. It was like this, it was going down, 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 down,
Right up.
and then up, shot up. I gained like 10,000 followers in a week. In a week. I
Yep.
have since then, which is interesting. But they gave me a bunch of followers, and a bunch of people were like, "Oh my God, like, where have you been? I've never seen your content before. Thank you so much." All my content went viral for a couple days because it served them a purpose. And then it's back to status quo again. And I turned off my comments for a while because I just didn't want to give MAGA a platform on my site. And I opened it up again and just out of curiosity, and I haven't checked, but I'm sure they're in there making comments about my face and all that kind of stuff. And Meta is profiting off of that. And Meta is profiting off of the hate that we're experiencing. And I'm not posting my content for that. Like I would prefer less views and less of these people commenting that my like cheeks are too big or something. Like, sure, yeah, I have big cheeks. Cool. But like I'm also trying to warn you about what they're going to do to the Department of Education. Did you hear that part? No, I didn't think so.
Yeah. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg was just down at Mar-a-Lago last week. He was one of the others to go and kiss the ring. And so, like we know, we're constantly fighting the bans other places, but
Yeah.
we want to continue the work. And so that just means posting other places. And we're definitely going to be trying to do weekly episodes on YouTube because
Yeah.
YouTube seems to be one of the only platforms who are supporting content creators like us. So we will still be posting on all the other platforms while we still have them, but we're really hoping to grow a community of people here over the next 4 years, and give you guys a place to kind of unload a little bit, not
Yeah.
take things so seriously. We will be talking about the toxic topics of the week, but I refuse to get doom and gloom because that
Yeah.
is one of the goals of fascists, and that is to break our spirit,
Yeah.
make us bummed out, tired, and quit. And I don't know if any of you guys know anything about me, but that's the best way to get me to do something
Oh,
more.
oh
So
yeah,
that's our
yeah.
plan
I'm
going
competitive.
forward.
You want to bring me down, you're gonna bring me up. And like, listen, I this is my mantra. It's chapter 1 of Timothy Snyder's On Tyranny, and everyone can get that little book. I'm gonna send you one, Vanessa. I don't know if you
I
have one.
love that.
I bought one for you. I just have to send it. Um, it's do not obey in advance. Do not obey in advance. And some media people are already obeying in advance. We will not be doing that because we do not have anyone paying for us. And listen, if Trump and them want to come for us, come for me. Come for me. I'm just exercising my freedom of speech, the thing that you said you're trying to defend in this new presidency.
That's right. And we do want to make the announcement that this is a completely independent podcast. No one is
Yes.
paying us to do this. We do this on our own time, on our own dime. We edit everything ourselves, and no one is ever going to be able to pay us to tell us what to
Nope.
say.
Nope. We will
Nope.
say what we think.
That's right.
We will say what we're hearing, and we're just going to be unabashedly us and unabashedly polytoxic.
That's right. So thank you guys so much for joining us again this week. We will be back next Monday with another episode of Polytoxic Podcast.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry. Bye.